All right, streaming now.
Please post in business group, sir.
Okay, Telegram and all the group, right?
Business group. First, you post in business group.
Which business group, ma'am?
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, fine. You know, our discussion group. Okay,
Yes,
fine,
sir.
fine.
Yes, sir.
All right. I because Sri has posted that, and I want you to post that in Telegram group as well.
Anand, live streaming going.
Yeah, have you started the live streaming?
No. Live streaming started.
All right, fine. Then.
Okay, fine.
Shall we start? Malari ma'am, are you online?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right. Alia ma'am, are you online?
Yes.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Let me start, sir.
Yes, sir.
I'm online.
Hi, ma'am. Yeah, shall we start? Yes.
Welcome, Alia ma'am.
Would you like me to start?
No, ma'am. They'll be giving some introduction about you, and then we can start right away.
Okay, just let me know when I'm ready, okay?
Sure. Fine.
Let me start, sir.
Yeah. Yes, ma'am. Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Greeting to one and all, Government of Karnataka, Department of Collegiate Education, Dr. S. Gopalraj Government First Grade College, Anekal, affiliated to Bangalore University, Bangalore, Entrepreneurship Cell and Internal Quality Assurance Cell with initiative of MOU partner, Mr. Anandaraju D, founder, Study Channel Educational Trust and founder of Club Inspiring Millions, Dr. Tirumulan D, founder of Imegal Educational Trust and co-founder of Club Inspiring Millions, Mr. Sri Ramulu, founder of Sri Andal Soft Media and co-founder of Club Inspiring Millions, organizes 5 days EDP program. Today makes our third day program. Today's resource person is Mrs. Alia G.Alkhub, certified life coach, neuroplasticity, international trainer, KSA, Saudi Arabia. Madam's topic is entrepreneur mind setup. Entrepreneur mind setup is how to develop entrepreneur's mind. Is the concept of keeping in mind their own schedule, find the right idea, financial freedom, and own lifestyle. Madam will be elaborating in today's session. We are organizing team of GFGC, Anekal, Principal, Club Inspiring Millions, CDC, Alumni Association, and teaching and non-teaching staffs and students. Welcome you all for today's session. Now, I hand over the session to Dr. Malarvili PK, Assistant Professor, Department of Commerce and Management, for Master of Ceremony of today's program. Over to you, Dr. Malarvili, Madam.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Thank you. A very good afternoon, everyone. I'm Dr. Malarvili, Assistant Professor, Department of Commerce and Management. The Galaxy of Intellectual, Your Excellency, invited guest participant, and my dear friends. It's my pleasure to welcome you all here on this delightful evening on behalf of Dr. S. Gopalraju Government First Grade College, Anekal. I would like to thank you all for joining here with us today for this third day International Entrepreneurship Development Program presentation on Entrepreneur Mind Setup. I assure you that our today's program presentation should be full of exuberance and excitement and will create some informative fact for us all. Now, I would like to invite Professor Nagamani, Assistant Professor, Head of Department of English, to introduce today's resource person, Alia G.Alkhub. Professor Nagamani, Madam, session over to you. Professor Nagamani, Madam, session over to you. Professor Nagamani, Madam.
Nagamani, ma'am, you can
Am
unmute.
I audible to you now?
Yes,
Yes,
audible.
yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank-
Go ahead, please.
Thank you, Malar Madam. Good afternoon to one and all
ma'am.
present today. The greater our knowledge increases, the more our ignorance unfolds. by John F. Kennedy. With a note like this, I would like to deliver my welcome address of today's webinar, organized by Entrepreneurship Development Program in association with IQAC, Dr. S. Gopalaraju Government First Grade College, Anekal, affiliated to Bangalore University. First and foremost, I would like to welcome our resource person of today's webinar, Mrs. Alia G.Alkhub, Certified Life Coach, Neuroplasticity, International Trainer, KSA, Saudi Arabia. A hearty welcome to you, Madam. Next, I would like to take the opportunity to welcome our Principal, Dr. Ramakrishna, Department of Economics, for today's program. A warm welcome to you, sir. Moving forward, I would like to welcome Mr. Anand Raj D., Founder, Club Inspiring Millions, Srinivasan R., Co-Founder, Club Inspiring Millions, Dr. Thirumulan, Co-Founder, Club Inspiring Millions, and Mr. Srilamulu, Co-Founder, Club Inspiring Millions, who has given us support and platform to conduct the event. Hearty welcome to one and all. Next, I would like to welcome the organizing committee, participants, teaching, non-teaching, faculty for today's event. A warm welcome to one and all. Education is not the filing of a pail, but the light of a fire, William Butler Yeats. With a note like this, I would like to end today's welcome address. Thank you, organizing committee, for giving me an opportunity to address the gathering with my welcome speech. Now, I will hand over the session to Dr. Mallar Vijay, Madam. Over to you, Madam.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, Professor Nagamani, Madam, for welcoming our dignitaries. Now, I would like to invite Professor S. Bharati, Assistant Professor, Department of Commerce and Management, to introduce today's resource person, Alia G.Alkhub. Session over to Professor Bharati, Madam.
Thank you, Mallar, Madam. A very good afternoon to one and all. Success is not the key to happiness. Happiness is the key to success. If you love what you are doing, you will be successful. I am Bharati, working as an assistant professor, Dr. S. Gopalaraju Government First Grade College, Anekal. I take this privilege to introduce today's resource person, Mrs. Alia G.Alkhub, a certified life coach, therapist, international trainer who specializes in neuroplasticity, hypnotherapy, and positive disciplines. She uses the techniques which helps the clients past trauma, emotions, and childhood mental blocks in 1-4 sessions. She combines neuroplasticity and life coaching to reprogram the mind and change the habits and help to set the future. Ma'am is certified by Complementary Therapist Accreditation Association, certified to practice in UK, USA, and Australia. She trained more than 300 people in different skills, both corporate and technical. She gave an insight to understand human behavior and preference through design, which enable to build trust and help in knowing what steps would likely to suit clients and help them in progress. I thank ma'am for accepting our invitation. In this session, ma'am is going to speak about entrepreneur mindset. I thank organizing committee for giving me this opportunity. Thank you one and all. Over to you, Mallar ma'am.
Thank you, Professor Bharati, Madam, for your brief introduction about the resource person. Indeed, it's a great pleasure to have a successful person in today's program. Thank you, ma'am. Now, I request our today's resource person, Alia G.Alkhub, to address our gathering. Session over to ma'am.
Hello, everybody.
Yes.
Hello, everybody. And namaste to everybody there. I really appreciate this and appreciate this opportunity for allowing me to be here and allowing me to be in your presence today. It is an honor to be here. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Anand, for giving me this opportunity. And thank you for all the doctors that are present here and on this board. It is an honor, and I appreciate this for allowing me to do this. So today, we are going to be talking about entrepreneur mindset. And the thing is that a lot of people think that entrepreneur mindset means that I need to know what my business is, what is my goals, where am I going to go to, how am I going to get my business establishing. But that is only the outer layer of entrepreneurship. The most important part of entrepreneurship starts with one thing and one thing only, which is me, the entrepreneur himself or herself, because you can be a woman or a man, right? I'm going to share some slides with you. So just let me know if everything, you guys can see my slides.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So what is very important is that when we start with entrepreneurship, with a mindset, with what we want to do, a lot of people start with looking outer. I want to be an entrepreneur, but I want to see what other people do and what other people are successful in. And with that, I am going to say, I'm going to start a business. I saw somebody out there do IT and was successful and made millions. So I'm going to do the exact same thing out there. But that's a wrong concept when it comes to entrepreneurship, because entrepreneurship needs to start with you as an individual. Who are you? And you as an individual, what are you good at? You see, when you do that, it is like being a pear tree and trying to produce apples. And the thing is, no matter how much you try to be an apple tree when you're a pear tree, you will continue to produce pears. So, with that said, what it means is that I am unique. Me as myself, as my mind, as my talents, I am unique from anybody else. And whatever I have in skills, in what I want to give or contribute to my business, I must understand this uniqueness of my talents, because I am not any pear tree. I am a specific pear tree that gives a specific pear with a specific taste. And with that, I must understand what is my talent and what can I contribute to society. And when I understand my own talents and what I can give out and what I am unique in, I will understand and I will have the passion to move forward and be able to give something that is different. And from that, I can get in return a financial gain from it. And it's very important that we understand this point of view, because even if we have goals and we have money in progress and plans and how we're going to execute it, if we don't go back to the most important source, which is you, and with the most important source is what you are unique in, it will not help you in the long run. Because when you are having days that you're tired, you are frustrated, you feel like giving up, this is what's going to keep you going on. And with that, I want to say is that it's very important. Everybody has to understand that we are unique. Do you know, you as a person, you only come with your set of personality, with your set of traits, according to the Cleveland Strength Exam, which is exam of a behavior science to see what kind of strengths you have in the workplace. And they're categorized into 33 characteristics. And according to that test, which you take once in a lifetime, you have rated those characteristics in a certain particular order. The first 5 characteristics, in order to have that specific order, is 1 in 133,000. That's how unique only the first 5 characteristics. So think about if I had the 33 characteristics, how unique would I be? You are very unique. So another thing that we must look into is that we have all gifts, skills, and talents, that we are unique from anybody else. And even if, say, I am a therapist and a life coach, and somebody else is right beside me that's a therapist and a life coach, I must understand that they have something else to give, even if they have the same profession. So in the end of the day, there's no such thing as called as a competition, because in the end of the day, I know truly that what I have to offer with my experiences, with my gifts, with my personality, with my talents is unique like nobody else. Sometimes people say, okay, how do I know my skills? How do I know what's my gift? I don't know who I am. I might be an entrepreneur and I might already started my business and I might already tried to already have everything in plan, but I don't know if this is aligned with who I am. How do I know? How do I know? So a lot of things I say is this: try to see yourself or think or remember between the ages of 7 and 14, what was the most thing that you used to enjoy? Now, say if you don't know, ask your mom, your dad, your teachers, maybe your grandparents, and this will align you with who you actually are. So when I was between the ages of 7 and 14, I used to like to get up on stage and I used to like to talk. And here I am today doing exactly that same thing, sitting down on this platform on Zoom and talking to you from a different part of the world and talking to you on this stage. So I am aligned with what I used to like to do because this is my skills, my gifts, and my talents. And another thing about entrepreneur, it is not only important to know myself, but in order to be able to sell my product to somebody else, I must also understand the person that's in front of me and understand why do they buy? Why are they going to take my service and take my product? And why are they going to uniquely buy from me from not from anything else? And the thing is, a lot of times we say we go to people, we try to sell them our services. We try to tell them, you know what, why don't you get this product from us? But the thing is that they'll say, no, I don't have money for it. And that's a lot of times that will happen in entrepreneurship. And sometimes you feel, oh my God, I'm so let down. Nobody has the money to actually pay for it. But I'll tell you one thing: if a person needs something, if a person feels the necessity to do so, do you know that they will actually borrow the money and actually pay for it even if they don't have the money? Were you aware of that? That is how people actually are. If they know that something can make them feel good and make them feel that this is going to benefit their life, they will actually buy it. So you need to find a skill and you need to find a way how to monetize it by making others feel good. So if you can take that into perception and understand that whenever my product or my service, I have to make sure that in front of me the person is feeling good. Okay, so let's talk about what does everybody want? What does everybody out there, sorry, I skipped 2 slides. Okay, what does everybody want? What does every single person want? Everybody wants to feel that they're connected. They want to feel acknowledged. They want to feel liked. They want to feel accepted. And what's the one thing that everybody doesn't want? They want to avoid rejection. Now, if you can understand this concept very well and put your services of entrepreneurship according to what people actually want and what people actually can avoid so that you can actually sell them the product, you will be one step ahead of making them know that what your product you're trying to sell out there will actually benefit them or make them feel better so they could avoid the rejection. You can sell them your product or service that you want to entrepreneurship. So always keep that in mind. We all want to feel we're heard, we're acknowledged, we're appreciated, we are loved, we are accepted, and we so fear rejection to the point that we want to do anything for everybody out there to accept us. Okay. Now, it is very important that we understand change. Because if we understand change within us and within people around us, okay, we can understand how we can bring our entrepreneurship and our products to people. So there's 3 types of change in life. And the most thing that stops us from change is one thing and one thing only, which is fear. And this is the most important thing if we can understand fear and why we feel not good enough, we will understand how to keep focused when we are doing our businesses, because it's very important that fear is what stops people. It's what stops businesses to succeed. It's what stops people from investing money. It's what stops people from trying to ask people for money while giving or talking about their services. So the first change is that let's change. Aha, quick magic trick. Let's have that magic wand and let's change. But you know what's wrong with that one? That rarely happens. We all want that aha change. Okay, you know what? I take that magic pill. I lost 70 kilos. Okay. Or I became a supermodel or XYZ. Or I had that magic lottery ticket and I became a millionaire. We all want that. But in reality, that only happens 1% of the time. The second time of a change is a change that you do, which is over a very short period of time, but might not have a long lasting effect, which is like being on a diet for 1 month and then you finally find that your pant is starting to become loose. That is a change that you see over a very short period of time, but sometimes after you found out that your pants become loose, you go back and you eat your old habits, which is most of the time what people do. Then there's the changes that you do not notice over you'd only notice over a period of time, which is like when you see your photograph 10 years ago and you go like, oh my god, I was so pretty, I was so handsome, oh, I was so, I don't know, beautiful figure, what happened to me, right? And then you're like, oh my god, I changed, but I haven't noticed. Oh my god, I just noticed that I didn't have a wrinkle right here, or I used to look better, or XYZ. And you know what? That is the most type of change. This is the common change, the change that we do not feel it. We only feel it until later on. And this is the type of change that we have to understand that is most common in life. Because when we understand that this is the type of change that is common, we understand that we take this change and we know that it takes time, a lot of time, and establishing thing on the basis, the daily basis, to make sure that it actually happens. Because a lot of times, this is what people actually do. And this is what's very, very important. I'm going to give you guys a analogy. A lot of times, we want to finish this book. And think about finishing this book is reaching your goals in entrepreneurship. And the thing is that you see how big and thick this book is? It is so thick. And think about if I want to actually read this book, okay? If I focus every day on just, okay, I'm going to finish this first page. Today I'm going to read this first page. How many more pages do I have left to read? I have so much more pages left to read. Okay, let me try to read another page and another page. But oh my god, I still have so much more to go to reach my goals. And then another page. But if you focus on just not trying to complete the tasks in hand and trying to get to that goal when you become a millionaire, because you know what's going to happen if you focus step by step on how much you actually read, you're going to go back into feeling disappointed. You're going to go back into feeling, oh my god, I have not accomplished much. And oh my god, I have a long way to go. And you know what? I better give up from now. It's much easier for me to give up from now. But if you focus on enjoying reading the book instead of focusing on, you know where you want to be. I'm not saying don't plan it, but if you focus on the task every day that you need to get to that end goal and enjoy that task every day, and knowing that change takes time, by the end of the time you'll be so enjoying doing the task daily that you will actually end up finishing the book and not realizing the frustration and not realizing how much time consuming it actually took to read the book, and not focusing on, oh my god, I have so much left to do and so much more to read and so much more to accomplish. Let me give up. If you're focused on a daily task and focus on changing one step at a time, one day at a time, you will know that it will be easier for you to focus and it will be less likely for you to give up. So this is very important when it comes to entrepreneur and how you should be actually thinking and how change actually happens. So then the second thing that we have to talk about is fear. As I said, what stops all of us humans from changing? What stops from us from doing something or pursuing our dreams or wanting to do something for a difference? We all want change. We all put those New Year's resolutions. We say, I'm going to lose weight this year. I'm going to be healthy this year. I'm going to get my degree this year. I'm going to make that business. I'm going to reach my goals. But by the end of the year, do you know what happens? We do not achieve it. And the reason is our brain has a mechanism. The mechanism for our brain is actually to protect us. And what it does is that it actually tells us unconsciously, we do not know that this is actually happening to us. It is telling us that, you know what? Change is dangerous. And change, if it's dangerous, the brain's sole and only responsibility is to protect us. So say no, no change. And this is why we go back to habits, because we start thinking about the fears of change. We start thinking about what can happen. And we start having that anxiety of, oh my God, how about if I do this and it fails? How about if I start and pursuing my dreams and I don't get the money? How about if I invest and nothing happens and I go into debts and then I go into all these other things? We have to understand what is actually fear. And fear stands for false expectations appearing real. In reality, there is no such thing as fear, because in reality, you're expecting something to happen, but in reality, it still does not exist. You are here only in this moment. In reality, there is no past and there is no present. They're all existing in one single moment, and that one single moment is here, now, right at this moment. And so you think about it. When I worry, what I'm doing is I'm actually imagining something to happen. I'm imagining it to the point that I make my body react and believe that it actually exists, that my heart starts palpitating and I start breathing more deeply and I start thinking, oh my God, and I start sweating. But in reality, it is only my imagination. It does not actually exist. But the thing is, when it comes to the brain, we have to do, you hear when they say, always say, 21 days to break the habit, 21 days to make something new. And that is reality, because what happens is that the brain starts making new neurons in our head. It's like a highway, and it needs 21 days to make a constant highway in our head. So always remember that what only stops us is our fear and our worry that don't actually exist. And we have to understand we fear change because we're afraid that the outcome might become even worse. When you know that you can control and influence the direction of change, and you are the one that's in control as an entrepreneur by your planning, you know that the fear of change can go away, because I am the one that can control it. I can control my mind, and I can control the way that I feel, and I can control my habits, and I can control my outcome, and I can control this change, and I could stop worrying because I understand that it's just me having a big imagination, and I'm the one that can change this. So change comes from me and within. And this is very important for as an entrepreneur. Okay. A lot of times we think, and this happens, I'm going to tell you, I've had so many clients, and I don't care how rich, how poor, how successful, how much of a failure they were. Okay. I've had this in all types of clients, which is we feel we are not good enough. We feel that somebody else is better than us. We feel that this thing should be given, or this position, or this job, or this business, or this XYZ should be given to somebody else. And this is what we call the imposter syndrome. And it is a common thing. And I'm going to show you guys famous people that actually exist in life that actually had imposter syndrome. And you're going to be like, are you sure? And I'm going to say, yes, they all had imposter syndrome. And that means that we feel that we're not good enough, we're not skilled enough, we feel that we're fake, we feel that we don't have the qualifications, we feel that we are just, like in the outside, we show that we're very composed and everything's going well, but deep inside, we feel that we should not be in such a position. And this is not only called the imposter syndrome, but it's called imposter syndrome, imposter phenomenon, imposter experiences. And you know what is funny? Is that it happens not to certain people, it happens to everyone. So every single person out there, it happens. And this is the thing, that it usually most happens in women, and usually most happens in more high achieving people. So let me give you guys a first example. Maya Angelou was one of the very great poets of her time, a very great writers of her time, and she still is one of the greatest writers in time. And you know what? She had imposter syndrome because she said, I've run a game on everybody and they're going to find me out. And she felt that she was not good enough. Let me give you guys another example. Albert Einstein. Albert Einstein, everybody knows Albert Einstein and how he was so successful in physics. Can you believe that he described himself as an involuntary splinter, that his work didn't deserve all the attention that it got? Can you guys imagine that Albert Einstein actually thought that? So if Albert Einstein thought that, who are we not to think that we're not good enough? Kate Winslet, who doesn't know this beautiful actor from the Titanic? She used to wake up every day before she used to film and say, I can't do this, I'm a fraud. But she still got up and did it. Now, who studied the first imposter syndrome was Dr. Paulina. And what she did was she took people from graduates that actually were very high achievers and very successful universities that got actually scholarships. And when she went and interviewed them and she talked to them, they said, we felt that somebody else deserved this scholarship. And they felt that they didn't deserve this scholarship. And they felt that they were not good enough. And do you want to know something? We have something that's called pluralistic ignorance, which is that we all think that we're not good enough all by ourselves. And we think that we are the only one that is actually going through that. But in reality, we are all suffering with the I am not good enough individually without anybody else knowing, because we are scared to actually admit that we're not feeling good enough. Can you believe that? That is, everybody goes through it. Now, this is the reason a lot of people say, let's fake it till you make it. Let's fake it till you make it. And you know what's the most problem with that word, fake it till you make it, is that when you say that to yourself, you program your brain to actually feel that you are a fake. So empower yourself by saying to yourself, I am this person. I am this entrepreneur. I am successful, and it until you make it. And I want you guys just to realize, here's a diamond, and that even if we cover up a diamond, even if we put the diamond in dirt, the diamond will still remain a diamond, and the diamond will remain shining no matter what. So if you take out all those beliefs that you have about yourself and you go back to your true essence, you will find that you are a diamond no matter what has been told to you, no matter what you tell yourself, or no matter what anybody has ever criticized you. And that is very important to learn as an entrepreneur, because there's going to be days when people come and they're going to tell you the most nastiest things that you are going to say. You are a failure. You don't succeed. You're never going to make it. You're never going to be able to be successful. And you know what you're going to have to do? You're going to have to remember and learn that I am a diamond no matter what people put on me. Because in the end of the day, whatever anybody says, it is only a reflection of them and not a reflection of who I am. Because what I am deep down inside is a diamond. And if you can't think that all the time, you will find that this is one of the most important things that you can do for your mindset as an entrepreneur. And the thing is, okay, let's talk about, how about if I'm in a very difficult situation? What can I do to actually help myself get out of this feeling of not feeling good enough? I'll tell you guys a very secret that I actually do, and it's proven scientifically, which is close the door, turn on the music, and dance. And you know what that does? At first, it raises up your vibration and makes you focus better. It makes you feel more positive. The adrenaline that comes during that moving it actually gives a hormone to your brain, makes you more happier, and it actually helps you in the long run. And make sure that when you sing, of course, when you're singing, you're going to dance, that the lyrics to those songs are positive. Because what happens was that when we sing songs, the songs actually engrave those words in our brain and we are not aware of it. That is why sometimes we're like in a bus or we're sitting in the car, and then finally we got that music that got stuck in our head. And then we start saying it. And then you're like, oh my God, I just remember that song. That is because the subconscious mind has actually engraved those words. So be very, very aware of what kind of music you will actually listen to, and what kind of songs and what's the words of those songs. And this is a very, very tactical technique when you feel not good enough and you feel very nervous, if you're going to a meeting, if you're going to a client, if you're going to meet somebody to do a business venture. This is a technique that can relax you, to calm you down, and actually make you feel better. And I actually use music to actually program myself. I can do this. I am good enough. I always use very upbeat music, and I make sure that it's very, very happy, so I can program my brain that I can do it. So you can actually look online. I can do it. I'm successful. And you'll find actually music, and that's how I actually look for music. Okay. Now, what is very important, I'm going to do with you guys a test, a technique. And what is this? Is because, see, we talked about outer factors, and we talked about not feeling good enough, and we talked about how people can come as an entrepreneur and actually tell us things that we don't want to actually hear. But do you know what is the biggest thing that actually destroys us? Do you know? I will tell you guys what it is. It is the words that we say to ourselves. That is the biggest thing that destroys entrepreneurs. It is the words that we say to ourselves, because we are the worst critic to ourselves. We are the ones that if we make a mistake, oh my God, you're so stupid. Why did you make that mistake? We are the ones who criticize ourselves. You could have done better than that. We are the ones who stop in our way. And I'm going to say this. The words that we say to ourselves, we will never say to our mother. We will never say to our father. We will never say to our friends. We will never say to our brothers, our sisters, our sons, or daughters. We only say it to ourselves. But how can we not allow to say it to others, but we allow it to say it to ourselves? And I want you guys to do with me this technique, because I want you guys to learn with me today how our words affect our body, because the words that we think in our head are not only destroying us psychologically, but they're also destroying our health in our body. And I want to show you the power of the words. So I want you guys right now to take a deep breath with me and close your eyes. And I want you guys to imagine with me going to the refrigerator, the fridge, and opening up that fridge And I want you guys to open up and pull out a big lemon, a very cold lemon. And I want you guys to feel that lemon and smell it. And I want you guys to take a bite from that lemon. It's going to be sour. It's going to be cold. It's going to be juicy. And I want you guys to imagine yourselves, you're actually chewing that lemon, feeling that sourness on your tongue, and that piece of lemon going side to side in your mouth. And I want you guys to just feel it, absorb it, and keep on, feeling that lemon and that lemony taste, and chew it and chew it. And I want you guys also to swallow the saliva that's coming in. And now I want you guys to open your eyes. I did not have no lemon in me, but I'm sure that you either smelled the lemon, or you swallowed, or you had saliva in your mouth. And I didn't have anything. I'm all the way here in Saudi Arabia, very far away in my office. I didn't have no lemon, but the words that I said, I made you imagine something, and that affected your body physically. That is how powerful words can be. That is how powerful words can do. And I want you just to take a moment and just put that in and think about it. And I want you guys just think about that for 1 second. Okay, so I gave you guys that second to reflect on that. Now, the thing is that sometimes in our daily life, we have words that we think is very positive. But in reality, they are the worst words we can use to our subconscious mind. The first word is trying. I am going to try to do this. I am going to try to establish a business. I'm going to try to get some business. I'm just going to try to get some clients. And the thing is that when you use the word trying, it redirects your brain, and your brain gets confused. Do you actually want to do this, or you don't want to do it? Because you see, if I had a water bottle, which I have a water bottle right here, and I have it standing here, I don't try to drink water, right? I just pick it up and I drink the water. If you close your eyes and I told you try to open your eyes, you'd be like, okay, what do I do? Oh, I open my eyes or I close my eyes? So you have to understand, trying does not work. Have you ever tried to go to sleep at night, and you know what you end up doing? You end up not being able to sleep. So trying equals failure, because you believe that you can't do it, and you don't know. Your brain doesn't know. Do you want it or you don't want it? Okay, and then the brain thinks, well, that means that it doesn't matter because you don't want it, because you don't give it a correct command. So please eliminate the word trying. Trying is not a good word to tell yourself. Okay, so as I said, the water bottle, we don't try to get the water bottle. We just grab the water bottle. We don't say, I'm going to try to write. You write. So please remember that. It's very important. Okay, the next 3 words that I'm going to give you guys, that everybody thinks that is a very good words for us, which is the word dream, hope, and wish. Oh, I wish this is going to happen. Oh, I dream this is going to happen. Or I hope this is going to happen. And we all think that these are very, very positive words. And you see, when you dream, you believe you cannot have it. When you hope for something, you doubt that it will work out. And when you wish for something, you believe that you can never get it. So don't say these 4 words: dream, hope, wish, and try. These 4 words are words that in reality, as positive as it may seem, are as negative in impact. that it can be on you. And now, as an entrepreneur, we talked about how you're unique, your talents, how change happens, how you should do it one step at a time. We talked about what people actually want, how can we sell those services psychologically. Then we talked about how we feel not good enough and how it's very normal for everybody out there. Then we talked about as well was about the words and how they impact on us. The last thing that I want to teach you guys today, which is very, very important, is our relationship with money. Why? Because when it comes to entrepreneurship, we talked about ourselves, we talked about others, and now we need to talk about the money making thing, because this is also a problem that people face as an entrepreneur when it comes to that. Okay? Because we all have the belief that, you know what, in societies you hear money is the source of all evil. Whoever is rich probably was a crook. Whoever was having money was probably somebody that, you know what, he had a golden spoon. And you know what, we have to understand, we have to fix our relationship when it comes to money, so that when we go and we ask for people to pay for our services, we don't feel ashamed. We don't feel that we're not good enough to ask, and we understand that money is a concept. So let's go back to, what is money? What is money? Where did money come from? In the old days, there was no such thing as money. Money never existed. In the old days, somebody would have a cow, and somebody would have apples, and somebody would grow rice, and then they would trade within each other or say, like, okay, so I'll give you 1 cow and you give me 3 kilos of apples. Okay? And so the trade will be done, and that is it. There was no money. It was an exchange, something for something and something else. And then with time, like say if a person who used to grow apple, the apple was only harvested in a very specific time, and if that was not what they actually wanted to at that specific time, he has to sell at that specific time and get whatever it is that can be traded before those apples get destroyed. Or say if I had the guy that does rice and then the guy that has apples and the guy that has a cow, and they all want to trade, say the apple guy came to the guy that had the cow, and said, you know what, I want a cow. You say, no, don't, I don't want a cow. I want rice. So the apple guy had to go back to the rice guy and say, you know what, I'll give you apples instead of rice. But the guy with the rice says, no, I don't want rice. I want something else. I want lettuce. So the apple has to go to the lettuce, and then gets the lettuce, then goes back to the guy with the rice, and the guy with the rice goes back to the cow, and then you go through all of these things. It is such a hard process. So everybody started to say, you know what? We need to think about an easier way to be able to do exchange and trade. So you know what they did? They said, you know what? Okay, let's see. This apples and this rice, what are they worth? How much are they actually worth? And you know what? We are going to put a piece of paper, and no, it was not paper first, it was coins first. We're going to do these pieces of gold are equivalent of this amount of apples. And this is where the first money started. But then, think about carrying so much gold around and walking around with it. It was so inconvenient, right? It was so heavy. And how about if somebody came and, put a knife in the neck and started thinking, give me all the gold that you have. And you've actually been working so hard on those apples for God knows how long, and somebody took all your money, right? So then they started to create rooms that they said, okay, you put your gold in here and we will give you a big piece of paper. And it used to be a big piece of paper that said how many gold pieces that you had. And that is where the first bank and the first paper money had actually existed. So in reality, whatever bill note that you actually have is actually how many pieces of gold is an equivalent in the bank, and not any bank, the central bank of your country. And that is what money is actually about. So if we think about the concept, money is actually an exchange of something for something. And if we understand that it's an exchange of talent for the money. So I cannot ask from somebody, here, take my talent for free without getting an exchange. Everything has to be an equal energy exchange. Now, I want to tell you guys something. We all have limiting beliefs when it comes to money, but we're not born with those limiting beliefs. I will tell you one thing. A newborn baby actually thinks that they own the world, and they don't think about anybody. I'll tell you guys an example. If that little baby is hungry at 2 o'clock in the morning, they're going to cry at 2 o'clock in the morning. They don't care if you have work tomorrow. Or if you have, let's say you are tired and you didn't sleep all day, if they're gonna want the milk, they're gonna want it at 2 a.m. So they feel they're already trained since the day one that they're entitled, and that they actually are okay with doing that. They don't feel no shame about it. If they wanted to poop at when you're in a party, say, they're not gonna care that you're in a party. They're gonna poop. They're not gonna care. So in reality, we are born believing we are entitled. We are born believing that it's our birthright to have whatever we need because it's what we need. And all the blocks that we have about money does not come from us. All the blocks that we have about money comes from our society, our parents, and or it could be our elders. They don't come from us. Do you know, like when sometimes you have an aunt or an uncle, they want to be generous and they want to give you the money, and your parents come and tell you, no, 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 don't accept the money because it's shameful to accept the money. Or when your parents said, no, 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 no. In order to be more spiritual, we should not be very looking for money. We should give our money to everybody. Or no, 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 no. I don't have enough money right now. No, 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 no. We're poor. And I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with that, but I'm saying about the mindset and the words that are said. It all comes from things that are not us. It's not from us. So it's time for us today to correct these things, to correct our thoughts when it comes to money. Understand that since we're born, we believe and we're entitled to have money, to have it. And there's nothing shameful for it. And when we ask for people to pay for our services as an entrepreneur, we are only asking for an equal exchange of energy. We're not asking for anything else. When you go into the movies, you pay to get to the movies because you pay to watch somebody else's talent. When you go to the grocery stores and buy food, you pay somebody for them harvesting the food and putting it in the supermarket. But why, when it comes to our services, we do not ask for it? We feel shameful about it. We feel down and bad about it. Okay, so I want to do another exercise with you so that we can keep this in mind and have this concept about money. Okay, so I want you guys now to take a deep breath in, and take a deep breath in as much as you can until you feel that your heart hurts. And then after that, I want you to take a deep breath out as much as you can until you feel it hurts. And now I want you guys to think. Money and doing our services has to be in a balance. It cannot be only taking people's money, be greed, because it hurts if it's only taking. And we cannot only give, because it hurts as well. It has to be like breathing, an equal in and an equal out. I give you talent, you give me something in return. I give you this, I give you that. It is an equal balance. Everything is a balance. And this is very important. And please understand, you can achieve whatever you want when it comes to money if you remove those limiting beliefs about money. And what it is that we have to understand there is no such thing as, oh, there's not enough money. If you go and Google, which I actually did, Googled how much money is there in the world and how much is it population, you will find that there's enough money for everybody. It is only our mindset that stops us from gaining the money that we deserve. And there is no limit because there's abundance everywhere. In the universe, it's all abundance. Everything is abundant. When we believe that we cannot get that money, we believe that we cannot achieve it, then in reality, we believe that the universe or a higher source or the divine or God or whatever you want to call it is not abundant. Do you see how problematic that kind of a mindset is? And in reality, you're the one that puts that limit of how much you can achieve in your head. You're the one with your mindset says where you can actually achieve. If you believe that you cannot make $1,000,000, you will not make $1,000,000. If you believe you can make $1,000,000, you will achieve it. It might not be quick, and it might not be now, but you will achieve it in time. So anything that exists as a limit is only here in our brain. We are the one that are afraid to become. We are the one that we're afraid of getting money because we're also afraid of people rejecting us if we become wealthy, people not liking us or thinking that we're bad. Remember, what was the thing that everybody wants? Everybody wants to be accepted, and everybody's afraid to be rejected. So in the end of the day, whatever money that we are not achieving is because we set it in our mind to do so. And this is very important. And remember, nothing when it comes to fear, when it comes to your past, when it comes to your present, they only exist in one moment and one moment in time, which is now. The mind always works in the present tense, and that your mind takes every word you say to yourself as a fact. So if you say, I am stupid, I'm not good enough, your brain thinks that I am really stupid and I'm not good enough. And you know what happens? According to research, what happens is that according to time, you will actually start behaving the way that you think. So be very aware and be very careful of what you say to yourself and what's the words that you say and how you say it to yourself. And this is very important for you. And with that, I would like to thank you and thank every one of you for being here and listening to me. And I appreciate this moment. And if there's anybody who has any questions, I'm here to answer.
It's finished, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Can I start?
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Really, it's very interesting and resourceful information and experience. To give more meanings, ma'am highlighted various life skills. It was a great session. Once again, thank you, ma'am. Now, uh, audience, any participants, we will start question answer session. Participants requested to you can share your ideas, views, thoughts. Get ready. Question answer session handled by Club Inspiring Millions. Sir, session over to you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. That was a wonderful session. It's been great to be the part of this particular session, and we got a lot of questions streaming in our YouTube as well as in this chat box. We can first straight away we'll go with Zoom, and then we can later part we can have the discussions from YouTube. Let me check and I'll just get back to you. Please wait. We got a question from our a participant. We got a comment from Mr. Srinivasan Raghunathan. The idea of money is expertly explained like you all know Harry, and there was an inspiring and motivational speech. Thank you, Mr. Srinivasan Raghunathan. Thank you for your message. And is there any participants? Just raise your hand. Thank you, Dr. Lada. If you have any questions, you can just raise your hand and post that in your chat box.
Rajaratnam.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, I want Mr. Rajaratnam to unmute and ask his question straight.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Yes. Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon.
Ma'am, your session was really very good, and I am so much inspired by your all the insights which you give us. So, ma'am, my question is that in the last few minutes you have told that we have to think like we can do everything, isn't it?
Yes,
But
correct.
our parents have that much trust in ourselves. They are not believing that we will do it, or they don't want any risk in their life for our career. So how can we we convince them to do anything which have risk? How can we take risk in that?
Well, the thing is that it's not important to convince them. I know that we want their appreciation, and I know that we want them to be proud of us, and I know that we don't want to disrespect them. But it is not our duty to convince them. It is our duty to believe in ourselves, to achieve it, and then show them the results, and then they can be proud of us at that moment. It's to believe in us. And I know that, I mean, I come from also an Arabic culture, so we're very intertwined with our family, just like in India. So I know that we don't want to disappoint them or get them mad. But in then another way, we have to understand that whatever they are coming from, that we have to show compassion and love and understanding, that they want the best for us, but at the same time, those are their beliefs, not our beliefs. So it is very important that we stay strong as an entrepreneur and understand that those beliefs are theirs and our beliefs are our own to achieve. And I hope that that can answer your question, Raj.
Thank you, ma'am. And I also have a personal question for our guest today. Shall I?
Go ahead.
Yeah. While talking about money, I just want you to have your point of opinion about why people are asking certain things in their mindset, how they has to be trained or how they has to be prepared themselves to get the value. You know what I mean? Like I'm talking about the money factor,
Mm-hmm. So you're trying to say, like, how do I train myself to ask for money when it comes to my business? Is that what you're trying to say?
Yes, exactly. And adding to that, how am I, equipped to be, in that position to get that?
But see, if we remember when I told you there was an equal exchange, it's like breathing. If we come to a point that we're not afraid, and that in the end of the day we understand that we're giving energy and exchanging energy, then we understand that there's nothing wrong with actually asking for it. Because we are as people, we're ashamed of asking the money. Do you understand what I mean?
Yeah, I do understand. Yes.
Yeah, we're very shameful about it. And what I always say to people is write down, why do I feel ashamed about money? Write it down and see. Why am I ashamed? Write down, okay, I'm ashamed for asking for money because, and you'll see your mind will start, especially if you do it with your hand and your pencil and you do it as quick as possible and you write down exactly why you're shameful, your mind will start writing it and you're not aware of it. Don't correct it. Just put it, write down, I am shameful about asking about money, and then just write it down as quickly as possible. You'll see that the subconscious mind will write it all down for you. And you know what you do when you have that piece of paper? Okay, so you say, I'm ashamed of asking money because I'm ashamed that somebody will think that I'm begging for it. I'm giving an example. That might not be it. But in reality, how can I contradict that? By saying, okay, I'm not begging for money. I'm asking for an equal balanced exchange. So I prove to myself the reason why I feel shameful is not real. And if I continue to do that over a 30-day period of time, I will program my brain to actually be okay with asking the money. And what I do is, you see how I contradicted the negative point, like say, okay, I feel shameful because I feel like begging, and then you write, I'm not begging, I'm asking for an equal exchange. That positive list, I put it out in one full list. I'm asking for an equal exchange. It's okay to ask for money. Whatever comes out of that list that I just proved to myself, write it down on either one and read it to yourself in the morning and at nighttime. This will help you to boost the confidence into allowing and programming your brain that it's okay to ask for money.
All right, thank you for your wonderful explanation. And let me check in the chat box for questions also parallelly. I'll check with our YouTube session. And I'm really thankful. Thank you for your wonderful session, Dr. Sunil Kumar. Thank you, Mrs. Anandi, and thank you, Dr. Sendil from Coimbatore. Just want you to text back here. Give me a minute.
This is a very useful technique that you can use not only for money, but for anything you want to achieve or accomplish in your life. Because what stops us in reality is some kind of a belief. It's some kind of a form. So if you say that I've never succeeded in my business, ask yourself, why do I feel that I can never succeed in my business? And write it down. Write it down and see what it is, and then prove to yourself that what you wrote down isn't true. And say, if I cannot prove it, show yourself an example of somebody that actually achieved it and could achieve it. And that way you prove to your subconscious mind that those beliefs are not yours. They were somebody else's. Most of our beliefs that we have in our head is programmed from the ages of 0, since we're inside our mother's womb, which we're not aware of, all the way up to the age of 7. And we're programmed by society. 90% of what we have in our life is programmed during this time. And what happens is that we go through our adulthood with these beliefs from childhood, and we don't update those belief systems at all. We don't update them. We keep with the basis of the beliefs of a child from childhood. And this is our responsibility as an adult, to come and say, you know what? Where are these beliefs coming from? Are they actually mine? And in reality, you will see it's either TV, it's either society, it's either parents, it's either, your grandmother, grandparents, your teachers, your mentors. Most of them are not your belief. 99% are not your belief.
And I also have, a question about, your vision and mission. As a regular follower, I'm having a few questions. I just want you to talk about what is reaching stars. I've seen all your short videos and kind of topics and contents. That's really interesting. So that's why I just started following you and I reached you. I just wanted to make a quick note about what is reaching star and what are the things discussed in that particular forum or concern, or what exactly is that?
So reaching stars, where I came up with a concept, is that I want everybody to reach their highest potential And we all want to reach that. And that's not only when it comes to being as an individual or being an entrepreneur or being, say, in your business, because in the end of the day, it is all about one person and one person that's important, which is the person that's standing in front of you that wants to change, that wants to reach to the highest potential ever. And if you've noticed, usually my logos, I'll see if I have here. I will share you guys so that you can see. The logo that is here has different colors in it, and that represents that we are not the same. We are all different and unique, and we are all people with different talents and different things in life. And we shouldn't be like everybody else. We shouldn't, because we all have something different to contribute to this life and to the collective and to our society, because we're unique. And this is where the concept of reaching stars. So what I do is I help people, I empower people with the knowledge that I have. I am very obsessed when it comes to healing, when it comes to therapy, when it comes to coaching. I have over 50 certificates and diplomas when it comes to that, because I was obsessed of helping people in a simple technique to live the best life that they can possibly have in whatever form it is, if it's in their business, in their personal life, as an entrepreneur, as an individual. It all comes down to that.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you for your wonderful explanation. And we, as a club, Inspiring Millions, planning for a event called Challenge 365, whereas we, select 365 startups for a period of year. We are going to incubate them, and we need a lot of experts and trainers, mentors like you to be a part of this initiative. We already had 50 plus, international guests on board, and it's been a pleasure that you are being a part of us from now, and I'm really thankful for that. And I'll just keep you posted about our next forthcoming events that will be of connecting with that particular selected 365 startups, whereas you as a mentors, the guest speakers and mentors will be planning and having a session, an interactive sessions, mentoring them, guiding them for their startups, giving unique ideas, making their topics to reach or their contents to reach outside India. I'm talking about in a global platform. Actually, we already have connected 25 plus countries, and I'm really happy that you're from Middle East, especially from Saudi Arabia, because I have good connections over there in the mountain. I was into an entrepreneurial journey in the year 2011 and 12 in Middle East, Saudi Arabia, Dammam. So whereas I have good connections over there, and I'm really happy that you are on board, and I'm looking forward for your long-term participations for mentoring and guiding. When it comes to NLP, I know that you got a vast certifications. A lot of colleges are especially asking for some certain unique NLP programs. You know what I mean? I'll refer them. I'll make sure that your product and your experience reaching them with a proper value-based segments. We have good connections in the entire part of Tamil Nadu as well as in India, and we also are getting a lot of proposals from the day one. We got a lot of doctorates, a lot of college chairmen and experts. They're asking for more programs, and we are really proud to have an incubation center in this college, Dr. Gopal Raju College. And I'm really happy that Dr. Kalevani, Malarali Ma'am, and Dr. Salma, Principal Mr. Ramakrishna, took a wonderful initiative to make this thing happen. And I'm really thankful for Dr. Kalevani Ma'am to make this happen. I know she's been all the way around 247 to make this even happen. I'll just keep you posted through WhatsApp and in LinkedIn as well. Is there any other questions from the audience, participants, to our guest?
Anand Rajarathan, I think, on more questions there.
All right. I just want Rajarathan to unmute and
You can
go for
ask,
it. Make it faster, please. We got last 10 minutes. We are pushing it.
Okay, sir. Okay. Ma'am, I want to ask initially, you told us, you discussed about that whatever you look back when you were 7 to 14 years at age, and look that and ask your mother and your father that what you love doing at that time. So why 7 to 14 years is crucial? Why not other age?
Because this is when we start exploring the world, and then we become passionate in the world, and then we start feeling that, okay, this is what we actually like doing in a constant, and we become obsessed with it. Because first 0 to 7 is when we establish our beliefs, and then 7 to 14 is when we start exploring, and this is where our talents start coming in.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Good evening, ma'am.
Next,
This is
Ajay.
yeah, Ajay from Hyderabad. Madam, it's very nice session. Has given a lot of inputs to us. And one basic question today in the present current world, there is lot of misleading information is coming in all over the world. So how to find out whether that particular message or true information, especially the youngsters, they are falling under the trap of this misleading information. And many of them are investing in some other areas of not knowing properly where to invest and what are the things to be taken care. So can you please light on this particular issue, ma'am, regarding the false information it's flooded over yeah, in the current scenario?
I'll be very honest with you, Ajay. I'm very selective when it comes to what I surround myself with. And I'm very selective of what I listen to or I hear or I watch TV. If it was up to me, I'd have thrown the TV out of the garbage. That would be my own selective, because I believe that a lot of the information that we get on our TV, especially when it comes from news, when it comes from all these things, it's all sourced in a negative way. And it affects and it impacts our own feelings and behaviors. So what I would say to you, suggest, be very selective. I choose what I want to learn. I choose what I want to listen. I choose what I want to surround myself. It is my responsibility to put my well-being first. And the thing is that when it comes to your mind does not know the difference between TV and real. If the TV, it says negative, your body will react negative because of what you saw. And I will give you guys an example. If you had a scary movie that you were watching on TV, your heart will start beating and you will start sweating, even though it's only a movie. It's because your brain does not know the difference between real and fake. So you're actually, in reality, when you're watching, you are actually programming your brain to what you're watching. So be very selective of what you hear, what you see, what you listen to, the people you surround to. There's nothing wrong with saying, you know what, I appreciate you, I love you, but this is my space. And I hope that can help you with the question. It's not important to know the source of the source of the news, this is real or what it is. It is important to be selective to choose to listen to it or not. And if it does not resonate, then why am I listening to it? I'm wasting my time, my energy, and I'm focusing my brain on negative things that impact my body. Why would I do that? So I hope that resonates and I've answered your question.
Yes, ma'am. That really added value. And Ajay, I just want you to, drop your college name or where are you from. That will be, great for us to follow up your questions and answers and all kind of things. And I have a personal question for a guest today. Ma'am, what do you think about this pandemic situation and how digital medium is influencing people's? Whereas I'm talking about the Indian's point of mindset. Whereas we in colleges and schools don't do a lot of online programs and online seminars before this pandemic. This pandemic has changed a lot, and a lot of schools and colleges are learning now to come into a digital platform. Whereas industry pioneers from outside India, I'm talking about Middle East or I'm talking about US and UK, they already have their good influence in digital media. Whereas as an Indian, I have a lot of questions running in my mind. How to get a proper reach where we are. For example, we are planning to work for a digital medium, whereas we connect parallelly. Like we can right now we have good connections with 25 plus countries. So it's all the hard work of our team. So I'm here to thank Dr. Thirumulan and Sriramlu and Srinivasan sir for their tireless effort. So they work around the clock to push as beyond boundaries, and what is your opinion about pushing things through digitally, whereas a lot of people in India are switching to e-commerce? Like previously we don't do payments through online or something like that. Now we are pushed to that, and we get our products through Amazon and Flipkart. We run a lot through online. What is your opinion about that? Because in the year 2011 and 12, I see a lot of differences, whereas in Middle East, whereas that particular segments and differences are coming in India right now. So, so you know what I mean? I just want you to address that particular thing, if possible. It's up to you.
Definitely, definitely. See, it's very important that we understand that once we do things digitally, that we open ourselves the opportunity to expand our vision and expand ourselves and expand our knowledge and expand our brain and expand the way that we think. We're able to see things in a more bigger of a perspective and in a more bigger of a dimension, because we're not limited to the place that we're actually in. And it is very important that we are able to grasp these knowledges and interact with each other, because this world is not about only one place, one country, or one city. It is about everybody as a collective, and how we all impact each other, and how we all bring the best in each other. So it is very important changing and shifting this to the digital world. This pandemic has made us realize two things, which is very important. The first, well, actually three things. The first thing is your money. How are you investing your money? Job is not stable. Life is not stable. The second thing that this pandemic has made us think and shift is our health. What were you doing with your health? How are you taking care of yourself? How are you actually, eating well, exercising well? And the third thing that this pandemic has brought to us is about opportunities online. If it's education, commerce, if it's businesses, if it's interactions, if it's communication, if it's about building a community, everything has started to be online. And from now on, life will not go back the normal way we used to think it was. It has shifted and has changed. And these three things are what's going to be in the central focus for the future: your health, your money, and everything technology online. And I hope that helps with your question, Anand.
Thank you, ma'am. And we got one more question. I hope we'll make it faster. Ramani from Coimbatore. I just want Mr. Ramani to unmute and ask your questions. And audiences, if you have any questions, you can post in our YouTube channel comment box, or else you can post in this chat box. We'll make sure that all your questions are answered.
Okay, good evening, madam. It was a nice presentation. My question is, for the beginners, can you suggest key areas of business where the risk is less? So the beginners won't be risky at the initial stage itself. So they can earn something. So they can proceed further. Can you suggest some areas of business where the risk is less, but they will be getting some profit? Thank you.
I love your question, Ramani. We all don't want to have risk in life, and we all want to have consistency, and we all want to be stable, right? But that does not happen in life. Life is not called consistent. It's not called stable or being safe. You're never safe. The pandemic was one of the biggest thing to show you right there that there's no such thing as not taking a risk and everything is stable. That does not exist. Life should not exist like that. Because in reality, if you think of everything is stable, you think about your heartbeat, that when you do that EKG with your heart and it goes up and down and up and down. And if it's stable, what happens to it? You're dead. You're not alive. So, yes, I understand we want that, but that's not how life works. Life has to work with an up and down, because that's how you know that you're alive. So you have understand there is always a risk, but you need to always weigh out your risks. And are you willing to take those risks? Change comes from risk. But if you do not do the change, you'll be dead. There's no such thing called constant in life except change. I will give you guys an example. If I had a seed and I planted the seed and I put the seed in the soil, if the seed did not change, the seed is dead. But if the seed changed and transformed, it will grow into a tree, right? But you want to consistently be a seed that will be a tree without going through the transformation. That doesn't work in life. You must go through the transformation. There must be chaos in order to go to something new. And the thing is that you see, we start in a stable position, then we go through chaos and a lot of things happen. And then what happens is that we go through another peak and then we start mastering it. And then we get to another peak and then become stable. And then what happens in life again? You need to learn, you need to consistently teach and become. So what you do again is go through another chaos and then go through another peak in life. There's no such thing as consistency. And this is the thing about when you want to change your room and do a decoration in your room and renovate the room, what do? It's going to be chaotic. You're going to take out the lamp, you're going to take out your things, you're going to take out your bookshelf. It's going to be everywhere. You know, you're going to bring the painter, you're going to bring people, and it's going to look like a big mess. And that's what entrepreneurs look like. The life looks like a big mess, but little by little, you organize it until you get a new room. And that's how life is. It's not made to be consistent. I wish we had that magic pill and said, you know what? Go and work this work and you will get a lot of money and there's no risk. That doesn't happen. Entrepreneurship isn't about that. It's about taking those risks. And it's not a one size fits all, because I said today we are unique. We are different. We all have the talents, different talents. And if I said to you, you know what, go to do e-commerce or go to do this, that could work for me but not work for you. That's being, again, the pear tree who wants to be an apple. So that's for you. I wish I could tell you that, but just remember, all great things take risks. All great people who accomplish were risky, but in the end they overcame their fear to become successful. And I hope that resonates.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. And a special mention and thank for Dr. Sunil for being online. And all your questions will be answered. Please post this in this chat box. You'll be answered in our Telegram group, as well as at the end of the 5th day, we'll be sending you the feedback form for the entire program so that you can all ask all your questions and I'll make sure that you'll be answered. And thank you, ma'am.
Ramani's still saying, but I'm talking about less risky business, and they all vary. That's correct, but there is no such thing as a less risky business because we see it from different points of view. I might see something less risky, but when you're in it, you might see that this is the most riskiest thing that I've ever done. So riskiness and fear is a perception of you. So there is no such thing as something is less risky or not. And I see Dr. A. Lataha has a doubt. I have a doubt. What is trade marketing? So I don't know what that is.
Actually, that is a different stream, whereas we have a certain guests and yeah. Hi, Mr. Dr. Sunil, and thank you for running online and questioning overall. And I just want you to speak up a final question from you, Dr. Sunil. But yeah, is that possible? All right. You can speak.
Lata ma'am was asking question. I think she's having doubt.
Sure.
What part I don't know. Sorry for the disturbance.
Sure, ma'am. Lata ma'am, I just want you to, ask your questions. Unmute yourself and.
if there's anything still that you still have questions, even after this section, you can reach out to Mr. Anand Raj, and he can contact me, and I'll be more than happy to actually answer anybody's questions. And definitely, I mean, I'm looking forward to contributing in the future. And if we go into more details as in mentoring, we can go into tackling more those limiting beliefs of where the money is, or the beliefs of not feeling good enough, or the beliefs of, you know, where they're coming from, and what's the difference between something that you believe or it's a thought, because there's a very big difference. And how can we tackle those and empower ourselves? Because entrepreneurship, it is all about the person that started the entrepreneurship, which is you. And if you don't acknowledge, empower your own self, it's not gonna give you the long run. You're not gonna be able to sustain being an entrepreneur for long. That's what makes good entrepreneurs and how their businesses succeed in the long run, is by their constant belief and eliminating those things that we have during our childhood, one step at a time. So there's special techniques that we can do to help with that. And I'm looking forward for that in the future.
Sure, ma'am. I'll stay, connected. I'll keep you posted. We still got 2 more days. After that, I'll be, sending you all the details and information about the startups we have initiated. I'm really thankful for you being on board. I'm really, as a team, happy to work with you. And thank you, ma'am. Dr. Kalaivani, ma'am, I just want you to preside from now.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you for participation. Madam, thank you, madam. Thank you, sir. Over to Malarvili, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am, for your energetic, enthusiastic interactions with our program participant. Thank you, ma'am. And also, I would like to thank our MOU partners, Club Inspiring, because they are coordinating our personal sessions till now. It's a very interesting session. Thank you, sir. And also, I would like to thank our participants for your interactions, for participating interaction sessions. Really, it's a very resourceful session. Thank you all. Now, I would like to invite Dr. Kalaivani KN to deliver vote of thanks. Session over to Dr. Kalaivani, madam.
Thank you, madam.
Thank you.
I would maintain that thanks are the highest form of thought, and that gratitude is happiness doubled by wonder. Good evening to one and all. It's my immense pleasure to deliver a warm vote of thanks. At the outset, let me thank the Almighty and thank Him wholeheartedly for His invisible hand in bringing our third-day entrepreneurial development program into success one. I thank Almighty. First and foremost, I thank our principal, Dr. Ramakrishna Sir, GFGC Anekal, for his concern, motivation, and moral support extended to bring today's program a success one. Thank you, sir. I wish to acknowledge my gratitude to our MOU partners, Mr. Anandaraj D, founder, Study Channel Educational Trust, and founder, Club Inspiring Millions, Dr. Tirumulan D, founder, Imegal Educational Trust, co-founder, Club Inspiring Millions, Dr. Sri Ramalu, founder, Sri Andal Soft Media, and co-founder of Club Inspiring Millions, to bring this program into reality. Thank you, Anand sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Tirumulan sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Sri Ramalu sir.
Thank you, madam.
Thank you.
I am very happy to express my gratitude to today's resource person, Mrs. Alia G.Alkhub, Certified Life Coach, Neuroplasticity International Trainer, KSA, Saudi Arabia. Madam deliver lecture on topic Entrepreneur Mindset. For sharing Madam's experience, I would thank to Madam. Thank you, Madam. The session was very wonderful. Thank you, Madam. Alia ma'am.
Thank you very much, Dr. Kavani. Thank you. Namaste,
Thank you, ma'am.
everybody. I really appreciate everybody. I appreciate every one of you for being here. It's such an honor. Thank you for considering me. Thank you very much. And thank you for allowing me to give this contribution. I am in full gratitude for you, to everyone, and to the Almighty. I'm in full gratitude. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Next, I convey my thanks to Dr. Salman, Professor, HOD of Sociology, GFGC, Anekal, for her endless support. Thank you, Salma Madam. Further, I would like to express my heartfelt thanks and gratitude to all our incredible participants of today's program who sincerely committed today's event make it to success one. Thank you all our invitees. And many people worked to bring today's program into success one. Members, Dr. Anjana ma'am, HOD, Political Science, Dr. Ratnaprabha ma'am, HOD, Department of Kannada, Savitri madam, HOD of Department of History, Dhanlakshmi, Assistant Professor from Department of Kannada, GV Sujata, HOD and Assistant Professor from Department of Commerce and Management, Dr. Lakshmamma, Dr. P.K. Malarvili, Professor Bharati. We are all from Department of Commerce and Management. Nagamani Madam, HOD, Department of English, and Selvi, Assistant Professor, Department of Economics. All the further value guidance they provided me and encouraged our team in all our occasions to bring into the program Success One. Thank you, all of you. I owe special gratitude to non-teaching staff who have worked hard to ensure that this occasion become memorable one. Thank you, Shubha ma'am. Thank you, Asha ma'am. And I very grateful to today's Master of Ceremony, Dr. P.K. Malarvili, Assistant Professor, GFGC, Anekal, for her role. Thank you, Malarvili madam.
Thank you, madam.
Without all your support, I thank every one of you in this wonderful occasion. Thank you all. Over to you, Malarvili ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Kalaivani madam. My dear participant, thank you very much for your participations. Let's meet tomorrow by the same time, same session. And kindly finish your feedback link already posted in chat box. Thank you all. Let's meet tomorrow. Have a nice day. Thank you.
Ma'am, let me wait in the Zoom meeting up to they fill the forms. Let me give the time. Just now we posted the feedback link. We'll also post in group. Don't worry. You can leave. Thank you all. We'll be posting in WhatsApp, Telegram, as well as in YouTube. Thank you all. Thank you, Dr. Palan. Thank you all. Thank you, participants, and I'm thankful for that. Yes, today. Thank you all, and bye-bye. Have a great day. Stay safe.